and today's the day, as you've just seen on Newsround, when the spacecraft Giotto zooms into the very middle of Halley's Comet, past all the dust clouds that surround it and into the mysterious icy centre to focus its cameras there. Now, these pictures have been sent to us by Class 9 of the Graham James Junior School. This is what they think is going to be there, but you can see for yourself in a moment, because we're going live by satellite to Patrick Moore for an on-the-spot report. Now, this photograph was taken from Earth a few days ago by the Royal Greenwich Observatory, and you can see Halley's Comet's tail very clearly, and astronomers are fascinated to see that it looks as though it's been split in two. Well, what other surprises will Halley's Comet have in store? Absolutely fascinating to see what those cameras will discover, because that middle, that icy bit, which is a total mystery, is the size of Ayers Rock, so the picture should be stunning.
Giotto's 50 miles a second dive through the comet's dust cloud is fraught with danger. Some scientists believe it's only got an 80% chance of making it through to the other side. Giotto and the comet are zooming together at fantastic speed, about 50 times as fast as a rifle bullet, so every little speck of dust that hits Giotto will have tremendous force, rather like travelling through a hail of machine gun bullets. So Giotto is protected with a double layer dust shield, and included in there is a substance called Kevlar, which is used in bulletproof vests. This is the camera housing where the pictures will be picked up, and then the pictures will be beamed via this dish antenna to Earth. But if this dish is knocked only 1 degree off course, then Earth will lose all contact with Giotto.
And Giotto's so far away that it takes 8 minutes for the electronic signals which build up the picture to come back to Earth. And then they come here to the European Space Centre at Darmstadt in West Germany. Now, these scientists are studying all the data coming from the comet and really making the most of their once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to study the 4,000 million year old comet.
Those pictures were recorded earlier today, but right now we're going live to Darmstadt, where we hope that Patrick Moore is waiting to tell us some more about these very exciting developments. Patrick, can you hear Janet and I?
Yes, I can indeed. And
now, we can see Patrick, but he can't see us, but you can hear us all right, can you?
I can indeed, and things are getting really exciting.
Now, have the Russian probes done their job, Patrick? Have they guided Giotto to the target?
They have indeed. The Russian probes have done their job very well indeed. They both passed the comet, as you know, between 8,000 and 9,000 kilometres, and they've sent back pictures which are very interesting indeed. They did suffer some damage, I may say, from the dust, and indeed the second Russian probe lost over 40% of its solar panels. But I think the prospects of Giotto were quite reasonable. And we have got one picture to show you. And there it is. Now let me stress straight away. Yes, let me stress straight away that these are not genuine colours. These colours have been added later. And this picture was taken from Giotto this morning when the probe was still over 3 million kilometres away from the comet.
That's remarkable. Patrick, this is the first time this picture has been seen anywhere in the world. Is that correct?
Yes, I think that is correct. As I say, it's not a genuine colour picture. Those colours have been added later to give different degrees of brightness, which also means different degrees of density. And the densest part of the comet is that white blob. And somewhere inside that white blob is the mysterious nucleus, about which we still know so little. And the other colours, red, blue, green and purple, they indicate decreasing levels of intensity.
So we've got to wait and find out if that ice in the middle then.
We have indeed. We are fairly, we think we know what it is. On the other hand, we are not sure yet whether we're going to see the nucleus of the comet at all. The closest approach, as you know, is just around midnight, and we may see the nucleus then. Opinions here differ. Some of the cometary astronomers believe that we will see the nucleus. Others think it will be shrouded in dust. We don't know. As I say, it is tremendously exciting.
Are there any clues to why the tail's split, Patrick?
Well, yes, we think that's due to the activity in the nucleus. And also, of course, what we call the solar wind, which is a stream of particles coming out from the sun, which does affect the comet's tail. But we also found out that the comet's a very strange thing indeed. There's one very active side and one very inactive side. And that was something of a surprise.
Which side's nearest us?
Well, in point of fact, the Giotto will go by on what we hope is the inactive side. But, of course, the dust really is a problem. And if Giotto is hit by a sizable particle, well, goodbye Giotto.
What do you think are the chances of Giotto surviving?
I've been talking to various cometary experts here, and opinions are widely divergent. Some of them think there's more than a 90% chance of going through. Others think there's less than a 50% chance. I think we merely got to wish Giotto luck. As you know, we're going on the air tonight on BBC television at 11 o'clock, and by the time that programme comes off the air, we will know whether Giotto has survived or not. We hope it will.
Well, it's a shame it is 11 o'clock, Patrick, because obviously a lot of people won't be able to stay up until then. But when you come back, will you come to Blue Peter and give us a report?
I shall be delighted to do so, and by then we'll know a great deal more about comets in general, and Halley's Comet in particular, than we do now. And remember, this is a once-off.
Patrick, if Giotto does survive and things go smoothly, how long will it be able to stay by the comet?
It won't be able to stay by the comet at all. Don't forget, the comet and the probe are moving in different directions because the comet goes round the sun the wrong way, rather like a car going the wrong way round a roundabout. And that's why the relative velocity is so great. And Giotto will simply tear through the comet and come out the other side. And if it survives, it'll go on into a path round the sun. But its career will not be finished. There'll still be some power left, we hope, and it may be guided on to another comet. It may be brought back to the region of the Earth. We don't know. But of course, everything depends upon whether or not it survives that very perilous encounter through the very heart of the comet. And remember also that Giotto only spends about 4 minutes closer into the nucleus than the 2 Russian probes did. And that's going to be the danger period, just after midnight.
It must be very exciting to be in Darmstadt at the moment, Patrick. What's the atmosphere like?
Absolutely tense, because no one really knows quite what's going to happen. You see, already the comet's given us quite a number of surprises, and there are so many things we just can't decide. Will Giotto survive? Will we see the nucleus? What's it going to be like close in? What's the dust danger going to be? All these things we don't know, and we won't know until, well, later on today.
You won't get much sleep tonight, will you?
None whatever.
Patrick, thank you very much indeed for talking to us. It's been absolutely fascinating and a great thrill for us to get that first ever picture on Blue Peter.
I'm so glad you saw it.
Absolutely. Thanks, Patrick. See you soon.
Yes.
Exciting.
Keep our fingers crossed. There we are, Patrick Moore, live in Germany, and a marvellous picture there of the comet.
And of course, comets are made up of particles left over from the very creation of the solar system that have been kept in a kind of cold storage ever since. So no wonder there's quite so much excitement about those pictures. Well, after all that, it's rather back to Earth with a bump.